LEGO City is about to experience high winds and heavy rainfall because in today's video, we're building a huge town and simulating the end of the world. But first, we need some backstory. You remember this video where Bob built a huge survival bunker after news spread that LEGO City was in danger? Well, I thought it would be cool to actually bury the bunker, and then build a city around Bob's mansion, which means this is gonna get pretty pricey, so I'd like to say thank you to today's sponsor, World of Warships, who's got their own part in today's destruction, and some pretty cool things for new players to gain when you download the game using the link in the description below. Now, just a quick recap. This is Bob, who got rich from being a generic LEGO model, then he built a huge mansion, and created this custom underground survival base. And this is President Business, who hates when people don't follow the building instructions. But he wasn't always like this. You see, 85 years ago, Mr. Business was born. Wait, that's actually too far back. 65 years ago, Business Jr. was born. And his father, Mr. Business, was a city planner. He built his first street of buildings in the 50s, and there was a music shop that sold pianos and violins and guitars, and just above that was a recording studio for up-and-coming artists. There was even a third-story room for the music store owner to rent out. The 60s was a hot time for music, so the next building in high demand was a record shop. And inside all the crates were filled with various albums and of course players to listen to them on. Rock and roll became mainstream and the Rolling Studs even performed on this very rooftop. Next to that, Mr. Business had a cafe constructed for the finest espresso on Main Street, with yet another room to rent out for the shop owner above. Main Street became quite popular, so much so that he decided to construct a hotel. He had the finest comfy chairs in the lobby by the concierge, a standard room, and a suite with a hot tub and balcony if you really wanted to splurge. When Junior grew up, he too wanted to build cities, so his dad gave him a small loan of $1 million for him to work on the next city edition. On one condition. He had to follow the build instructions. Business Jr. got to work constructing new buildings, starting with a pet shop for all the residents to fill their homes with furry friends, fish, and even exotic birds, which apparently eat Fruit Loops. But rather than renting out a room to the shopkeeper, Jr. got greedy and used the money as a down payment on this sleek lounge and a third-story penthouse above it with a king-size bed and balcony with this modern roof. Then he got hungry, so he had a diner built with a classic red color scheme, outdoor seating, and lots of baked goods and comfort foods to choose from. The second floor was for the kitchen of the diner, and with this new corner diner added into Main Street, more and more people moved into the city, which created new opportunities for city planning. But unfortunately, one fateful day, Mr. Business got very sick and died. Partially because there was no hospital in LEGO City. Junior was lost without Mr. Business, but also very rich and in need of a haircut, because that's what people do when they experience trauma. They get a haircut. And this barber knew just what kind of haircut would tell people that he was ready to lead them. But the people of LEGO City needed a city planner and a leader, so they elected him president. And thus, Mr. President was born. And for his first order as president, he decided to expand the town into a full-blown city. Starting above the barbershop, he had a pet hospital built, which technically meets the requirements for a hospital in LEGO City, and now residents can bring in their sick pets in for premium treatment for the low cost of their entire paycheck, because that's healthcare for ya. And just above the clinic is a streaming studio, being rented out to popular toy unboxer Sniper Kitty 77.
Oh my gosh, I got the new ultra rare bunny squishmallow.
New roads were installed to direct more nerds to the comic book store that also carries action figures, a wearable infinity gauntlet, cosplay helmets, and rare collectibles. And above that, the city has its own repair shop so that people can fix their scooters and their phones. Yes, this cool looking building is none other than a tech store with the latest Android, Google Pixel, and overpriced piece of garbage, iPhone. And while you're waiting for your screen to get replaced, you can visit this rooftop hotel and enjoy a cold beverage, or stay the night in this modern room with average amenities. Oh, and it's also run on wind and solar power. And to connect the two parts of the city, there's this massive sky bridge so that people can easily get to the rooftop concert. And man, this DJ is absolutely serving. But all the additions were really adding up and President Business was running out of space. It's a common problem for people with LEGO, but the residents kept on building. First, a skate park, then more places to eat like this noodle stand that was added into the city park, and this hot dog cart shaped like a glizzy, but it's on wheels so you can push it all around the city. Then they opened up a classic LEGO City pizzeria with Italian imported ingredients, a fire brick oven, and this paddle that you can actually scoop the pizzas out with. The pizza shop was so successful that even the comic book store paid them to advertise on their billboard. That is until President Business found out that buildings were being constructed without his build instructions. And when he realized that other people could build things without him, he tried to throw them in jail. But sir, Lego City doesn't have a prison, so he bought a jail and had it installed so that he could imprison people that were better at building than he was, or people that he just simply didn't like. Inside the jail, the officer escorted the men to the rec room and the women into this prison cell. But it didn't take long for them to figure out how to escape through the underground tunnel system, where they rode this minecart straight to their freedom. In the rec room, they figured out they could distract the guard by airballing the basketball and then escape through this well-placed sewer pipe. But when word got out, President Business was furious and called in the big dogs. He ordered a warship straight from Knockoff City, which seems like a great place to tell you more about World of Warships, which is an online multiplayer naval warfare game featuring historically accurate ship classes, unlike this one, highly detailed graphics and weather effects, unlike the details on this ship. What even is this deformed piece? Lots of actual real players, unlike these fake military minifigures, and right now they have Star Trek themed ships and commanders. Using my invite code Final Frontier, you can unlock Commander Picard, 2 Star Trek containers, which gives you access to even more content, a tier 4 ship after 15 battles, 200 doubloons, 1 million credits, and 7 days of premium account access. In fact, just by logging into the game, you can access a new Star Trek port, tour the bridge of the Starship Enterprise, and complete special chain of combat missions to get thematic commanders for free, which is probably easier than assembling this chain. Times 6? You can download the game on PC or console and get started today for free. And you can get even more goodies by using the code Final Frontier. So use my link in the description below to make me look good, and now that the warship is ready for combat, let's get the city ready for war. As I showed you earlier in the video, I placed this bunker underground, but not actually because I still wanted to be able to see it. So I brought the surface level up even higher and carefully placed the city around it by carefully shaping the terrain to level it out. And after hours of playing in the dirt, President Business arrived ready to enforce with his latest weapon. He wanted the residents to only buy his builds, claiming that they would be a safe haven in the event of, I don't know, the end of the world. And this guy called him out on it, which got him a one-way ticket to Power Washer City. Good thing bro's wearing a helmet, cause he nailed that stone wall. But the winds only picked up from there, causing a hurricane in Lego City. And there goes Sky Bridge. Unable to handle the winds, the city started to crumble, but the people rebuilt. That is until a giant hailstorm the size of asteroids shook the city, wiping out power lines and cars. It destroyed the park and even rocked this guy right off the roof. Oh no, Grandpa lost his wheelchair. I've fallen and I can't get up. Just then, reinforcements arrived. On wheels, cause there's no water. And the warship unloaded a barrage of missiles on the remains of the city. Fire at will! It reamed into Skybridge, causing fatal devastation. Bomb after bomb after bomb landed on Bob's mansion. Citizens were shook by the impact and flooded with aftershocks, or water. They couldn't even tell. The bombs kept coming, blasting trees to smithereens and annihilating rooftops left and right. And when the bombing finally ceased, the citizens collected themselves. But little did they all realize that a massive dam was about to give way. The water was so powerful it washed the warship away from the city. But actually, that wasn't the dam. This is. Yep, that'll do it. Oh my gosh, these guys are still standing. A man has fallen into the river. Now he's really going into the water. And somehow, even after all of this mess of destruction and chaos, Bob was still going strong until it actually started raining in real life. Nice. So the next day I came back and Bob was sunbathing and the water cleared up. So much so that even this dragonfly seemed to really like it. A rescue team was sent out looking for survivors to save from the water and take them to dry grounds. But we still need to actually destroy Bob's bunker. And you guys are absolutely insane for suggesting that I drop the UCS Venator on this thing. That would just be absolutely tragic. I liked the idea of the bowling ball, and since I don't have one, I grabbed a tennis ball, a lacrosse ball, a dodgeball, a volleyball, and this 14-pound wall ball. So let's see how much damage they do. Well, that did nothing. The crossball actually made a dent. Nope. Oh, the volleyball did quite a bit. And finally, the wall ball. Oh my god! That totaled it! Holy moly! That was actually so satisfying.
Yo, Chad never moved. Chad survived!
Oh, and you'll be happy to know that I collected all the Lego and washed it, so I don't want anybody up in my DMs yelling at me for wasting money and destroying Lego, because look, it's perfectly fine. This project was kind of a lot of work, so make sure to like the video and comment RIP Mr. Biz if you made it this far. Thanks, bye!